All right. Hi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. How's your week going?
My week's going great. Yeah, it's been really busy, but I feel like I'm excited to talk to you today and just tell you about like my progress compared to last week.
Well, good. I'm glad you're here, and I'm
Thank you.
excited to hear all about it. So, please tell me, how's it going?
Super well. So I know last week we were setting some goals, and the week before we did two, and I feel like I failed them, but I talked about how like I felt like I was still productive and I still felt pretty good about it. And so we reset my goals to only 3 days a week, working out for 45 minutes, and I did that, and I actually did it 5 times last week.
Wow.
I just had a very productive week, and it just like after I got in like a little bit of a pattern of it, it felt super like rewarding, and I just kept at it, and it was a great week last week.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear it. That's
Yes.
really exciting.
Yes.
That's really exciting. Okay, so what happened last week? We went from, doing 3 days instead of 4 to
Yeah.
5 days instead of 4.
I
And
know.
so,
Yeah, so I was kind of thinking about it. I know I was sick the time before, which we realized was kind of like a barrier for me not being able to. But this last week, it just was like, as soon as I started going and it like became like a routine and I like was feeling better afterwards, it's like the next day after like my class, I was like, oh, I'm ready to go again. Like, let's get going. And I just had like a really like, I felt great all week. Like, I felt like I had a really good like routine in the 45 minutes. Like I was about exactly at 45 minutes, maybe a little bit over, a little bit under, but it felt very productive for me. And I just like, it was so fulfilling that it just like kept going all 5 days. And it was a little bit of a less, I feel like, busy week for me too. So I felt like adding in an extra day worked really well.
well, awesome. It sounds like it was a really good and productive
It was
week.
amazing, and it was great.
Yeah, and we stuck to the 45 minutes. Even though you were able to go more, you did stick to the 45 minutes.
I did.
Is there a reason why?
Mostly just like my class time still.
Okay.
Like I usually the 3 times I did go, it was right between that little class window period, and then the other 2 times I went, it just like the timing of it, 45 minutes, like I felt fulfilled with it. The other 3 days, that the other 2, it just kind of fell into place at 45 minutes, and it just like, and it just worked really well for me.
Yeah, and naturally that's what you needed to be at the gym. Okay, well, awesome. It sounds really good. I'm glad that you're doing well with that.
Thank you.
So with the time we have here today, we've met a few times and we've made progress with our goals and overcome some barriers, and I'm happy you're feeling better. How would you like to use our time today? Like, how can I help you moving forward?
I think that I don't know. I think I'm a little worried that like if like I stop meeting with you or something, like I might a little bit go off and like not be as consistent or something. So somehow just like I don't know if I just need to like maybe see like I do really well sometimes with like meeting with you. It's like I have like an accountability partner. So like maybe somehow just finding somebody else to have accountability in, like whether that be my spouse or it be my like best friend or like it be maybe a workout class I do instead or something, because my gym does offer that, just like some type of like community and support, because this has been great, but also it's nice having like the check-ins, and I don't have that after like I leave, or like I know I can always, you said message you or anything, but
yeah. Okay. So it sounds like we're doing good as far as goal setting and the physical aspect of change.
I feel like
it's just the accountability that we're looking to
a little
keep
worried about. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Totally understandable. Would you say that might be your biggest barrier right now is the accountability?
Yeah. Right now, I was like before it used to be time, but I feel like I like have it pretty set now. And what times work best for me, and like I still think like 3 days a week is still like my minimum, but like maximum is 5 days a week. Like I feel like that was really good for me to like go from like 2 days to 5 days and like seeing how much better I felt. But yeah, the barrier I would say is just like accountability, to make sure I'm still like getting up and doing it, or after my class I'm like, oh, I need like I still have this energy to do that.
Right. So you feel good and you like where you're at. You would just like to have a plan in place to consistently stay that way in order to make progress. Okay, yeah. So today we can kind of change directions and focus more on how to get that accountability going. And I know you said you mentioned you do like checking in.
I do.
And that's not something we have to stop.
Okay.
But as far as maybe, is there anybody in your life who you think could hold you accountable to this part of working out?
Yeah, I used to have a gym partner I went with all the time, one of my like really good girlfriends, but like she moved away, so I don't have her anymore. I could do my spouse. He's actually just my fiance. He doesn't really go to the gym or anything because he's a blue collar worker. But he could be really good accountability partner too. Just like reminding me maybe, or like checking in at the end of the night. It's something we haven't really talked about. He knows I've been seeing you, but that might be super helpful for me.
Yeah, of course. Do you know how to have that conversation with him? Does he hold you accountable to things right now or in the past?
He's pretty good. Like if I bring stuff up, they'll like holding me accountable in like ways like, if you committed to this, you're gonna do it. So, but I don't know if like how to like make sure though also it doesn't feel like he's like overly like, come on, like you've got to, even if you don't want to, or like, you're having a bad day or something. Like maybe just how to like make sure it's like, yes, supportive, but also supportive for me, because like it's a new thing for me.
Right. And so you mentioned kind of things you don't want to happen. Ideally to you, what does it look like for someone to hold you accountable?
I think just like check-ins throughout, maybe not like the whole day, but like especially since I see him mostly at night after we're off work, like and school for me, checking in at night and just being like, so like how was your day, and then asking like, did you get a workout in? And maybe like if we didn't or something too, I was talking to you, like I know it's getting colder, but walking and stuff too, he usually is my like walking buddy, so maybe being like, oh, like we haven't, like if you haven't done that yet, maybe we can walk after dinner or before dinner or something like that, like almost like accountable, like not consistently because I don't want to be bothered by it, but I mean, we only meet once a week, and I feel like I'm getting like fulfilled by that. So probably that's what I'm kind of looking for.
Okay, good. Yeah, sounds good. And do you feel comfortable having that conversation with him?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And maybe just being like, setting some boundaries with him too, though, of like almost like what I expect from him. Like I don't want him to be unauthentic, but
yes. Yeah, sounds good. Okay. Yeah. It sounds like you're pretty confident.
I am. I feel like that will help me for sure.
Okay, good. Yeah, and like I said, we can still check in.
Which would be great.
Until you're comfortable with having those different accountable partners throughout this process.
Yeah.
How confident are you in moving forward with having somebody else hold you accountable with your fiance?
Yeah.
And like his abilities to keep you accountable?
I feel like for me that's definitely like a 9 out of 10. Like the only reason I think I can't just give it a 10 is just because like he is my fiance and we might butt heads about some of the things, but like I feel like if I do have the conversation with him, I feel like he would be super supportive, and just knowing I also can always like rely on you as well, like it's not like you're just gone or anything.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. And so how come we chose a 9 instead of maybe a 6?
I definitely think because I know I can put my like trust in him, and I know that he will hold me accountable because he does in other things in my life. So I feel like it was definitely not going to be a low score by no means, but giving it like the perfect was really not realistic either.
Right. Good. Yeah, that's important to be able to be realistic about our goals and how our partners can hold us accountable for sure.
Yes.
What do you think are some barriers then that might come up with this?
I don't know if there really is any.
Okay.
Like I feel like not really, like as long as I make sure I'm communicating with him though too. Like I feel like maybe that's the only barrier, but I feel like I'm a very communicative person, so I feel like we should be pretty okay, but I don't feel like there's any barriers. Like I feel like he'll do really well at it.
Yeah, good. Yeah, and we can see where that leads you and then bring it up, and we can schedule a next session as well to go over that. As far as the workout and as far as the goals for your personal changes that you want to make, where are you at with those? Would you keep it the same? Or?
I think for right now, keeping it the same.
Okay.
But maybe, and like I still think like minimum, like a new thing though is like minimum 3 workouts, maximum 5. I feel like that gives me some like wiggle room because like I said, it's really low the first week, and this week it was super high, but I also do want to be realistic in like my time and stuff. But I feel like 45 minutes has been working well. 3 to 5 days a week instead of just like aiming for 3 would be nice too, so I know I have that extra time.
Yeah, of course. And I know you're in school and fall break is coming up.
Yes.
Are there any barriers or changes in expectations that you think might occur because of break?
Honestly, I feel like I might just have more time.
Okay.
So maybe if I want to increase my time a little bit during break, if I'm capable, like able to do that, I might also just like to like, you know, take a break too. But with 3 days a week working out, I feel like that isn't like over pushing it either. Like that's just making sure I'm staying active and healthy. So
okay,
yeah,
good. Yeah,
I'm really excited.
I'm excited for you.
Thank
It sounds
you.
like, you know, you're really making some good progress and getting comfortable with this new change.
Yes.
And you're really sticking to it. And
Thank
so
you.
over the next 2 weeks, we can meet again after fall break. How does that sound?
That sounds great.
Okay, awesome. And so work on, you know, getting that accountable partner and having those conversations and really sticking to how much you're loving the gym and how much your body is loving it.
So it's great.
Yeah, I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll see you after break.
Perfect.
Okay.